Hello everyone and welcome back to Cattails, and we are here with Auberon, who's in his den right now and who's about to head out into the world. So ever since a couple of episodes back, Auberon has been a little bit shy around Savannah. He's still feeling a bit awkward, and he's still kind of preferring to spend some time out in the world and kind of avoiding her a little bit. Now he may eventually have to go back and say hello again and kind of reunite with her, because she's probably going to be the one who will have to give him a conch shell. But for now, he's still feeling a little awkward about how the whole Rose thing went down, and so he's kind of keeping his distance. So he's going to head up to Mountain Domain again, and it's honestly been kind of interesting because he's really been quite torn between the different colonies. I mean, of course, Mystic Colony is the one who originally gave him a home, and they are pretty much at war with Mountain Domain, but ever since Auberon started going up there, he's felt a little different about things. He hasn't quite... I mean, he's starting to wonder, why does it have to be like this? Why does there have to be a war? Why can't we all just get along? And because, I mean, he's come to realize that they're not so different from the cats in Mystic Colony. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, I mean, sure, they have different customs, but they're not all that different, and yet they're fighting. And he's not quite sure why. So he's been working hard to try and bring back the Forest Guardian in hopes that maybe the Forest Guardian will know what to do, will have something to be able to say about this, and maybe be able to stop the fighting. So he's been working hard to do what he can, bring the Forest Guardian back, but there's not that much he can do in the wintertime. There's not a lot of things to find in the wintertime that he actually needs. So he's going to probably end up visiting in a Mountain Domain quite a bit over the coming episodes here until it's springtime and he's able to go hunting for things he might need again. Hey! Nope, okay, that's a tricky little field mouse and it managed to get away. Alright, there's a dove though. Maybe we'll be able to get the dove. Let's see. We get it, we got it, okay. And let's see how our skills are doing right now too. So he's got quite a high fighting skill, but I don't know that he'd really want to improve that right now. He might try and improve swimming. And I think his biggest one is going to be hunting, though. He's going to want to try and get that up because he knows he's going to have to be catching prey. I mean, sure, foraging skill might help because he does have to find some plants, but at the same time, he can always just look around. I mean, the plants aren't going to run away. So, this is right outside. So this is where he may meet with Leo later on. He's been trying to make better friends with Leo, and just kind of seeing how, just kind of befriending him a little bit more. So I think he would stop in his chat. He'd probably at least say good day to Arthur. Who goes there? Hearken to my words, traveler. Honor above all. That is the way of the Knights of the Mountain Domain, Auberon. Auberon hasn't necessarily been what he probably wouldn't consider himself to be an honorable cat, at least. But I think that idea is starting to sound more and more appealing. I think Robin didn't like mice, but I know she likes golden seal, and one of those is something that she gave us, but the other one was one we found. So let's go ahead and give that to her. We're actually up to 5 stars with her already, and I feel like he still would continue to bring her presents and such. And we also will chat with Delta. Hey Auberon, how's my partner in crime doing today? Let's talk a little bit. Some days I wish there weren't any colonies at all, then we could all just be friends. She's said that a lot lately, and he definitely agrees. I think that's why they're getting along so well. What can I do for you, Auberon? Thanks for being there for me, Auberon. I always feel better after talking with you. Oh, honestly, I don't feel like that's something he gets an awful lot. He's known for being kind of a harsh, almost abrasive sort of cat. And we're gonna give Delta a gift there. But he's known for being kind of grumpy, kind of harsh, and that's not something many cats would be able to say to him. And so I think he'd feel quite honored by that. I wonder if Jag likes doves too. I believe some of you guys have said that he has. Let's give it to Jag. Yeah, he does like them. I feel like Auberon is slowly starting to find more of a place in his heart for I mean, he's always been out for himself. He's been wanting to do what's best for him. but now he's starting to learn to care about others as well, and to not be such a loner, and to not be quite so selfish, not be constantly off by himself like he has been. He's starting to learn that there's a different way to live life. And it really is. I mean, when he first came, there's no way he wouldn't have cared about the colonies fighting. He wouldn't have cared. I mean, to them, it's okay, that's just the way things are. It doesn't concern me. I'm just gonna save my own butt, pretty much. But now he's actually set out to try and stop this ongoing war. And that's honestly something that's pretty amazing. It's a pretty big change in his life, and it happened rather slowly. I mean, I don't think he would have really noticed it changing. I think he would have kind of just gone on and not even really realized that the change was happening as it was going on. All right, we can be able to catch this frog. We are good. All right, I think he still does love his frogs, but unfortunately he has yet to find someone to share that love with. It's kind of interesting. It's really been cool to see the different stories developing too, because each cat really has kind of found their own way in the world and kind of found their own way of doing things. For Auberon right now, I mean, he's the only one so far who hasn't really settled down. I mean, Dusty definitely has. Larkin sort of has. She's still prioritizing the Forest Guardian, but Auberon's still kind of being pretty independent right now. He has friends, but especially since the failed attempt at giving Savannah a rose, I think romance is one of the last things on his mind. I don't think he really has anything to drop off at the Sacred Temple here, so we're probably not going to. We're probably going to wait until springtime before we really end up coming back, because there's not too much he can do in the wintertime. He can't actually fish. Some of you guys are saying that fish do spawn in the sea, but it's probably just pretty uncommon. So we may have to be on the lookout for that. But I don't really want to go in the ocean until, whoa boy, until he has a better swimming skill. I feel like he would kind of just snatch those berries and run away and not really want to fight. Because, you know what, even though that was Forest Colony, he definitely won't fight Mountain Domain. But you know what, even though that's Forest Colony and he doesn't know them all that well, it still stands that why are they fighting? Why is there this conflict? Why can't everyone just get along? And I feel like he'd be starting to take less and less part in the battles, and to kind of would be moving away from that. The other thing is, I don't know, he's been a very mysterious cat to the others in the colony. He hasn't really talked with them much, except for Savannah. So I don't think anyone other than her really knows much about him or what he's doing, or that he's been going up to the Mountain Domain. He's really avoided telling them about that, and so how would they feel about him fraternizing with the enemy? I mean, to them, Mr. and Mountain are not getting along at all. They're quite frequently, like, they tend to talk each other down quite a bit. They really don't get along, and yet here he is, part of Mystic, but traveling every day pretty much up to Mountain Domain to visit with the cats there, and just kind of scooting away, and now he's not participating in the battles, he's not even defending his colony. How would they feel about that? It's questions that may have to be answered, and I don't think Auberon has really thought about that yet. I don't think he's really thought much about the practical implications of what he's doing, that to some this might be considered treason. It's kind of an interesting thought. He really hasn't planned this very well, and I don't really know when this all will come out, which I'm sure it will at some point. How is it going to go down? Is he going to be able to remain on friendly terms with both colonies, or is he going to have to choose which one he wants to be part of? And if he does have to choose, which one would he pick? Honestly, at this point, I think he has more ties in Mountain Domain. Especially now that his friendship with Savannah is a little bit strained after that. I don't feel like Savannah holds it against him. I really don't. I think she's always seen him more as just a friend, or even as a little brother. And I don't think she holds it against him. She was a little startled in the moment but I think she can understand his feelings, even if she herself didn't reciprocate them. But I don't think that's how Auberon sees it. I think he's he's still at the point, basically, of seeing it as, oh. Okay, I think we're good, actually. But he's still at the point of seeing it more as a friendship ruined, as opposed to just kind of a minor thing here. So let's see. We're gonna head down this way, and we're going. Or let's head. Actually, we're right below the camp. We're gonna head up and visit. So let's see. You know what? Excuse me just for a moment. There we go. Sorry, my mic was off. Yeah, so, okay. We'll just chat here. So I was talking and I didn't realize my microphone was off. I apologize for that. Yeah, so basically what I was saying is Leo just pointed out to him that he could, for all they know, he could be a spy. And that's a thought that never really occurred to him before now. He didn't realize that the other colonies maybe aren't quite as trusting of him as he assumed they would be. I mean, sure, Robin has been really nice, Delta's been nice, Luna, I mean, Luna's quiet. And yeah, Arthur was a little suspicious, but even Jag has been no more unfriendly to him than normal. But, he hasn't really occurred to him that he may have been, going against the colonies, going against normal protocol, and that they might have thought that they might be wondering, why is he here? What is he doing? And Leo certainly has proved that he's not entirely without suspicion, and his position here is perhaps a bit precarious. We don't know. We'll have to. I mean, we'd have to see what would happen. I mean, what if he did get caught? What would they think of him? It's kind of an interesting thing to have to wonder about. All right, let's see. He's going to continue hunting. I feel like at this point, he also probably isn't super conscious of the idea of colony boundaries. So, like, in all honesty, he probably shouldn't be hunting for himself here. I feel like Mountain Domain is familiar enough with him for the most part that they don't really mind it, especially because he does bring quite a lot back to them in the form of gifts. But by colony protocol, he probably should be hunting on his own territory. But yeah, he's kind of, there's a lot of things, it's not quite as simple as I think he made it out to be in his own mind. There's a lot of things he still has to consider, and you know what I think we're going to do is we're actually going to purchase the temple warp here. And that will enable us to, instead of having to walk all the way from here to up here and then up here, we'll just be able to warp to the Sacred Temple and then walk straight up from there. That'll cut down on quite a bit of travel time, and we can't use it this time because we have to equip it from our den, but we'll be able to use it for the next episode. So here we go. Let's make our way down this way. And I think he's been left with lots to think about for these coming episodes. Even the Mountain Domain soldiers are pretty chill with him, but what he's doing is really going quite a bit against what typical colony expected behavior is. He's really doing something quite different. So it's kind of an interesting thing. He has a lot to think about, that's for sure, and I'm sure he will have. I'm sure he will think about quite a lot of it as he goes on here. So he may be forced to make his choice sooner than he thought he was going to have to, and when it comes down to it, who knows what he might choose. I honestly, I feel like he'd start to be a little more cautious around the other members of his colony. I mean, he's talked to Savannah about all this, but I think it's occurred to him that perhaps the other members of Mystic Colony would not be so pleased if they knew what he was doing. They might be more than a little bit concerned by that, and they might feel as if he's betrayed them. He perhaps was not meant to do this. Perhaps this is not how it was supposed to go in their eyes. Perhaps in their eyes he'd be seen as ungrateful and as not, I mean, he didn't mean to hurt them, sure, but in their eyes, could he be seen as a traitor? I think we're gonna have to go ahead and wrap up the episode here for today, though, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time, but until then, this is Jay, over and out.